of this. I never thought it could be. I knew we'd come into a time where things would get really wicked and be pretty obvious to see evil, but what is transpiring right now is beyond anything I could have ever comprehended. And the title of this is the Emergency Management Agency confiscating and taking donations. First they said they don't want any, then they say they only want cash, then they start confiscating them. And then the reports, I was over on Richie from Boston's channel, and again, I thank the Father for this platform, because it's been here. It's very censored compared to what it used to be, but he had some interviews with people. There was a lady who was working for FEMA, and that she was a handler, dog handler, canine handler, doing search, and she said that they're literally confiscating donations and taking them. It's somebody that was keeping track of where these donations are going, and they're taking them and confiscating them and giving them to migrants. Is this really happening? Is that really a thing? That's insane. I mean, that's taking this to just levels beyond. This is getting hard to watch. Again, showing that self-sufficiency is going to be your best bet, not trusting anything that this government does. It's rogue. Anybody supports it is part of the problem now. Many different, it wasn't just that lady. I mean, she's working within the system of what's going on right now with recovery and rescue. More recovery now than rescue. And I don't know if she had like a cadaver dog, or what. She didn't explain what her dog was, but some dogs can do both. So rescue or recovery. So, but she said that they're taking these donations and they're giving to people who don't even have citizen. How could they be denying people who need these things and then giving them to people who doesn't even have citizenship? I mean, is this even a reality? Is that even? So we're going to look back at this, maybe in your next lifetime in a history book or something. Victor gets the spoils, but boy, it sure is pretty tough to sit here and go through this research. And came back up front because I've got some people maybe coming by and take a look at this tractor and hopefully come by and pick it up. But I don't want to start concrete, and then as soon as I do, I'm sure that's when I'll get the call, hey, you want to come by? So if they're going to purchase it, I want to be able to help them offer to tow it back to their place, so I don't have to drive it the 10 miles. So make it a little easier for them. But either way, I came back up here. I was doing a little research again and looking in this, and I'd already heard something similar to that, but Richie put out it's Jailbreak Overlander is what he is now, but he's been doing his original channel was Richie from Boston, and he had that lady who's a canine handler for FEMA, and saying that they're confiscating supplies, these people's supplies, and then they're giving it away. So it's not even going to the hurricane victims. So FEMA's not even doing their job. And then you got down there in Florida where it just hit Cat 5 hurricane status. So that's like 200 plus mile an hour sustained winds. Look at the freaking track on that thing. That thing goes zzz. I mean, whoa, I've never seen anything spin that fast ever. And I've watched these hurricane models for more than a decade, and this is unreal. I don't know if you've seen the hurricane model of this, whatever this one is. I can't remember. Is that Eileen or something like that? Or I don't know which letter we're on yet, but it is insane how fast it dropped like 9 to 9 millibars. Like it spun so freaking fast. If you don't watch BP Earthwatch, the real BP Earthwatch, he put out a video on, and it shows this model, and I cannot believe how fast it goes like this, and then it goes zzz, like, I mean, you could literally howl. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, I don't see why people live in Florida. That place always gets wrecked. You know, you're just right out in the middle of the ocean. I don't know how you expect them not to get hit by a hurricane out there. So, but people can do and live wherever they want. I'm not going to tell people where to live. You know, but anyways, they have a massive amount of supplies down there. They're all ready to go. They're all trucks and parking. You know, totally different response in a different state. That's what I was trying to tell you. There's no two states that are this, you know, they're all divided. This is the divided states of the un-Americas, America. So it's you got Florida, you got all this stuff on the ready to go. And then you got in these other states where you can't even get supplies in. People are going against, you know, what FEMA says, what all these other, what everybody's recommending that they do is donate to some of these nonprofits. The one I suggest would be the Y'all Squad, Ryan Hall Y'all. He has a YouTube channel, and he takes the funding and he goes and delivers goods on the street, brings vehicles, truckloads full of stuff out to people, puts it in their hands. So Lady in Red was in here earlier making mention that this $750 loan that they're giving these people, it's a loan. It's not a check, it's a loan. And they're like on the hook for it, you know, like there's all these clauses that says like if it doesn't get paid, they can come after your mortgage, all kinds of, you know, so it's pretty crazy how they'll hook people up, you know, hook up these people who don't even have citizenship in this country. Like in Maine, you know, if you go look up all these housing that these people are given, just they don't pay any utilities, they don't pay any water, they don't pay any electric, they don't pay any gas. It's all paid for. You know, $1,800 a month for one bedroom, $2,300 a month for two bedroom. For 2 years, they don't pay anything. No utilities, no garbage, no nothing. It's all taken care of. As Americans die on the streets, and they send all this money to Ukraine and Israel and Iran and I don't know. It is what it is, but I just want to see if any of you guys are hearing that. That's incredible. How could they sit there and be taking these victims' supplies and then giving them to somebody else that doesn't even have citizenship, as people are, you know, without right now because they've lost everything. It's pretty hard to witness this, guys. Pretty hard to witness this. So I don't know if you're seeing this, but thought I'd come on here for a minute again and have the discussion with you, see what your thoughts are. You guys ain't talking much about this. You know what's going on. You talk to people and they don't even know what's going on. How could all this be going on over there? Even in the United States, some people, you know, now I'm on the complete opposite side of the United States. You know, I'm over in the Pacific Northwest, but I talk to people that have no idea what's going on. Huh? Okay. You know, I guess it's just not meant for most people to know until a tornado picks them up or they get flooded out or something like that. So wanted to come in and see, you know, see what you guys are seeing. There's people again who are kind of tracking this, and they knowing that they're these, you know, emergency management agencies not doing their job. Not in Tennessee, not in North Carolina. That state's completely devastated. You know, we're talking about an insane amount of money that it would take to do it, and then with all the bureaucracy, the red tape. That's why what's going on now. Can't even get victim supplies because like, oh no, we got this, we're taking care of it. And then they end up taking supplies and giving them to migrants. Oh, that's pretty crazy. I don't know how to handle that. That's just like, that's hard on the brain. It's really hard. You know, you see them going one way and then they go some go a completely different way. So this is, again, it's like unbelievably proof that you need to be self-sufficient. Nobody's going to come save you. You know, I did a video stream earlier, and it still just wears on my heart thinking about all these people who are sitting there, you know, who sat there waiting for somebody to save them, and they could only go about 3 days without water, and they died because they weren't proactive. You know, they're waiting for somebody to come save them, and then they can't get up off and save themselves. So kind of sad to think that a lot of people have passed, and maybe if they would have just not sat there and waited for somebody to come save them, something, you know, they might have been able to. There's people who are walking out of a lot of areas now. Well, if you're a journalist, this would be a great time to be in, you know, that part of the country, because you could be doing a lot of, you know, man on the street videos of people, what's really going on down there. And there's a lot of people putting out a lot of information out there. It is the civilian population that is stepping up and doing what the FEMA's not doing and what the government's not doing. So it is proof that we are resilient people, and I like to see that, because most of the times, you know, everybody does just sit there and waits for Batman to come save them, or Mighty Mouse, or Superman, or I forget who was that was on the, they put somebody on the train tracks. But anyways, you know, the only person that's going to save you would be the Hamashiach, and that's not, you can't be saved. You got to endure to the end to be saved, but you got to make sure you've taken care of your priorities, not a pornea, the Greek word idolatry, or to serve self or serve our eyes, but make sure you're taking care of you so you can be wise and have extra oil and help people out. So, and especially in this time, just the little things can make such a big difference. You know, a little water filter, something you can put in your pocket. I seen somebody advertise a filter for the other day. It's something like this big or something. He said it lasts a year. So it must be something of this nomenclature, like a Life Straw, just a smaller version. They must have packed it and somehow made it. I don't know how you can. I don't know. I'd rather have more carbon, but yeah, well, there is nothing going on. It should be ballots, and then if no ballots, then bullets. But nobody's going to stand up, fortunately, and they should. They have the right. This is the government that our founding fathers warned us about. If they became tyrannical, we had the right under the First Amendment to peacefully assemble and form and redress grievances, the right to church and state. You know, we have the right to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, but that right to peacefully assemble and redress grievances under our First Amendment, form those militias so that we can redress grievance through ballot. And if not, then we'll bring the bullets and we'll remove you and we'll instill a right and just government. And then this is the one. So, and it was Trump too. If he gets back in, same thing. He's part of the same two wings to the same dragon. It's all the same thing. He's just as big. He's the number one spending president in the history. Yes, the military told them they have to allow them to give each survival allowance. Yeah. I don't know what that's all about, but anyways, brother, sister, the only person that's going to save you is yourself, and not idolatry. But these people, this country has taught people they need a shelter in place. What the hell is that all about? It's fight or flight. Either make like a tree and leaf, or get the flock out of Dodge, or you're going to have to put up or shut up. And that's what people think they're going to do, is comply their way out of tyranny and comply their way out of this. And, oh, well, you know, I'll let them come save me, you know, and Batman or Superman's going to come save me, or the government or FEMA or one of these. No, they're not. Nobody's going to save you. This is exactly what we see here. They did it during Katrina. They're doing it again. They're confiscating people's freaking donations and then taking them to migrants. If that don't get you to get off your butt and say, hey, now you need to go talk to everybody you know about this. Maybe start your own channel or something. But, you know, to stand down and not speak up about this is where the line has to be drawn in the sand somewhere. I never said violence. Yeah. And did you see that thing spin? Lion, did you watch Jesse's channel, Real PP Earthwatch, of that hurricane model? I mean, holy crap. It dropped like down 9 millibars. That's insane. That's insane. That there's some, see, that doesn't even look real. That one already, something's not right. I can already tell you, no way in hell. The Real BP Earthwatch, Jesse at The Real BP Earthwatch. Go watch his channel. I'll be in here for another minute. I'm getting wore out on this just stuff. It's just, man, this is just, I'm not sleeping. I'm missing sleep again. I'm not only getting a couple hours sleep. It's just too much for me on this. I just can't stop thinking that there's people, hopefully they're still alive, that are hard to die. Did you see that thing spin? Did you see that thing spin? You know, it's hurricane season, so they're gonna brew up because we had record heat in the Atlantic. It's not man-made. That was made because that's the way our system works. High pressure, low pressure. It's the way this rock cools itself. But they can manipulate it and increase it and juice it and gas it and do all those things that they do. That's what I'm talking about. Go look, Lion, at that freaking. Go look at Jesse's channel. Go. You don't have to watch the thing. I mean, holy crap. It doesn't even look real the way it's spinning. It's like, did somebody put that on ×2 or something? You know, like, I mean, like, whoa. I mean, it is like, it's insane. It's insane. So, you know, this is something that they're juicing this thing, obviously. I'm not doing too good, lady, and I really having a hard time here today. Just it's last couple of days I haven't been sleeping at all. Yeah, go check it out. You'll see. Come back and give me your comment on it. It's, you know, it's a video. You can, if you want to just go ×2 through his video, you don't have to listen to the whole thing, or just go speed up where you can see that model. Wham! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is all caused by God. So, okay. But man's doing it. Man's inducing it. You're going one way and then the other. Let me see if that's right. That's man-made. And then it's go. So, yeah, no, it's wearing me out a little bit knowing that our government is failing, you know, and people support this and support this beast. These people are just absolute tyrants, and right in history that these cop suckers are just as smart of a part of it. I heard that one cop sucker say to give your donations not to the FEMA, but to nonprofits. And again, I would recommend Ryan Hall, y'all, to if any place that you can give your donations to, I would give them to Ryan Hall, y'all, the y'all squad, because he goes out. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to. I don't know. It'll all work out. I just know we're in really crucial time here, guys, in recovery and this type of time. Time is very crucial. If you've never done this kind of line of work, I'm a first responder. I've worked with K9 before. I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm a veteran. I was a military police. I have this in my background, so I know that time is of the essence when it comes to recovery. Okay, or in it's supposed to be rescue before recovery. You rescue before your recovery, but generally after 3 days, you go without water and you don't have some kind of water filter, you're dead. People don't think this. They don't listen to anybody, but that's okay. They'll find out when they get in that pinch situation. But I know there are diehard people, and they're stuck. Like in North Carolina, in Tennessee, a lot of the roads are completely gone. There's no way to get out of there in any vehicle. You'd have to either leave out on horse or people, are on foot. And there are people coming out of the woods now. And so people are surviving, but I just feel it in the air. And I know there's more to come. Like we say, it's Saros. This is just the first wave. If you ask me, this is just the first set of waves. The there might be a pullback, but I don't think so. I think we've already seen the pullback, and we're in that first, first set, and then it will pull back for just a minute. But that's not what Christ said. It's not going to get better. He didn't say get better. It says sorrows. So that means it's going to come back more intense. Every single time that it pulls back, it will come back stronger. So everything will never get great again. That's all antichrist nonsense. And you know why I expose that, but and you got that piece of crap going down there raising money for, and whatever. What a show they're putting on here. But it is proof that you need to be self-sufficient, and you need to at least die trying, because there's people who had every prep in place, and I'm sure they had all kinds of things, because that's where a lot of people were in this area, brothers and sisters, were people who left the cities and moved out to these highline wooded areas, and to get away, after the COVID and stuff, they figured out, hey, this government this ain't right. And this is a lot of the areas got whacked. There's a lot of people who went out there and were prepared. So just proof that you can be as prepared as you want, and wham, in a moment's notice, you could be gone. Slam a tree, your neighbor's house smashes you into you're done. There's so many people that are, thousands of people are missing still. I don't care what this news is saying. I know. I'm doing my own research. There's so many places, like the one guy said, I don't know if those X's on the house for there are people that are, gone, or hopefully those are people that are there, or nobody's there, or they don't. This is something that's going to take years to recover from. This is going to cripple the United States, and it is what it is. We're just going to have to deal with it, because it's not going to get easier. Nothing at this point is going to get, as far as I'm concerned, there will be no election this year. How could there? There's no voter base over there right now. There's too many missing people. You can't fill these precincts. You can't do these things. You can't. How could there be an election this year? How? Tell me how there could be an election this year with all that devastation to those 3-4 states. Florida's about to get wrecked again. It's the kind of a thing down there. I don't even understand. See, the problem that maybe some people don't understand is this infrastructure was ripped to the shreds. Whole towns were just wiped clean off the map. This stuff got into the sewer systems and ripped the sewer systems apart. We're talking about a complete rebuilding of a state, in some sources, in like North Carolina. Did you see how fast that thing spun? All of a sudden it's going like that, at pretty good cooking speed, and then it goes wham. It's like, did that thing just go ×2 or something? Is like, am I watching this in fast forward? No, that's whoa. So this is going to be, and if this dumps as much moisture, yeah, and not only that, you have FEMA now taking people's donations, because they're only taking cash donations. We don't want anything that's not on our list, and then now they're confiscating donations and giving it to illegals. Is this happening? Is this real? Yeah, this is America today. This is the State of the Union. It's not America anymore. You know what I'm saying? I know. So I just don't understand. Did you visually see what I'm saying, though, Lion? Did you visually see? It's good that you know the military, right? That's good. I'm glad you're paid. Did you visually see what I was seeing? That thing went from really fast, like, wow, that thing's spinning, then to, it's like, is that on ×2? I had to watch it. I went back and rewound it a couple times and went, and watched it a few times, because I'm like, that can't be. It slowed down, then it sped up again. It's like it was a top. It was like, so this is something that God has control of all things and is making man do this. So, God makes man do whatever he wants. God makes the sun. God makes animals. God creates all things. So he creates the hurricane. He created this system. The way the system cools off is there was record heat in the Atlantic. We started out a little slow, but we knew that it would come this late in the season. So if you've been watching anybody like Ryan Hall, y'all, or Direct Weather, or Weather on the Go, or Real BP, Earth Watch, or whatever, because he does probably the one of I like his hurricane forecast the best. And I like all those people. I watch all those people, but for hurricane forecasting and but this is not something that should be unknown. I mean, this is how our Earth, the oceans cool. This whole over, there's more water on this rock there is than anything else, and the way that this rock cools itself is through the oceans by creating the cooling of the oceans. That excess heat gets cooled off by a hurricane. It's a vacuum, sucks that heat off up into our upper atmosphere. So that's the function, basics, low pressure, high pressure. That's a high pressure. Low pressure is pushing down like a blower down on top of us. High pressure, so that's what that is. It's a high pressure system pulling the heat and pushing it into our upper atmosphere. So that's an occurrence. Now, our Atlantic last year and this year had record heats. In the Atlantic, I said last year, people, oh my God, the Atlantic's 101 degrees. Yeah, that's right in towards the shoreline, you idiots. You don't know anything about the ocean. You know nothing about marine biology. It's not studying in. If the ocean was 101 degrees, everything would be dead. So, but it was in the 90s, brothers and sisters. So it was hot, and this year was record heat again. And I'm telling you why. I already told you why. The weakened magnetosphere. We keep getting pounded by solar radiation from our sun. The sun is white and hot, so it's unexplainable. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's right. There's news. It's just, thank you. That's evolution, Lion. See, things die down while others flourish. That is what is called evolution, not growing another imposable thumb or people are such idiots, but that's okay. Doesn't mean that man can't help, control, steer, juice up what's already there, though. Okay. And they know this, but they didn't heat the Atlantic Ocean up. There's no way in hell they could heat the Atlantic Ocean up like that. That is the sun that did that. Okay. Because we have a La Nina and El Nina cycle of our oceans and the currents, and the way that this lag between those cycles creates this La Nina and El Nino cycle. And that's all because of the elliptical orbit of Jupiter. Yes, it is the sun doing it. Now you're figuring it out, Lion. It's all connected to the sun. Everything is connected to the sun. This is all happening because of the sun. So the sun controls our weather. It is the driver of the climate. CO2 is plant food. If you don't understand, we live in an electric. The sun shoots off plasma, ionized, deionized gas. That's electric plasma. People just don't know. They were told, "Oh, it's a hot ball of fire." No, it's not. You're an idiot. You're a celestial idiot. You've been listening to too much. What is it? Non-science science. It's not science anymore. There's no scientific theory. Anybody can debunk, the whole CO2 greenhouse, runaway greenhouse. That's all. They get rid of CO2, they get rid of you. CO2 is a plant food. I know. I'm a medical cannabis grower. You put CO2 into a room, it's going to make more fruit, more flower. There you go. There you go. Now he's got it, because the weakened magnetosphere that we have by 40%, probably more now. We're probably in the 50s, 59% shield, something like that. Yeah. So if you'll pay attention, the sun, this is how the sun creates all this extra pressure on the plates. If you want to go by plate tectonic, whatever, it don't matter. I don't care. Whatever model you use, it still causes a pinch. Remember, this is what's happening. The sun is hot and white because we're closer to the sun. is what is the magnetosphere. Okay, the sun has a heliosphere, the same thing. This is the magnet protection. The energy comes in from the north and the south. It's coldest in the north and the south. That's where the energy is going to come in from. What is considered the poles? There's no such thing as a pole. There's no such thing as a pole. It's called polarity. Polarity, positive and negative polarity. Electric. All right, be patient with them, Tracy. They're getting it. That's good. Some people are getting it. So this earth arc discharges. See, this is magnetism. Static electricity. Oh, shock me. Ow. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, you getting it now? Gravity. What do you mean? Rub that balloon, stick right to your head, huh? Well, you got both sides of magnetism. No worries, no worries. All glory to the Father. So this magnetism is where this is going to be affected, because see, this is starting to affect us right now, guys. Every time bodies get close within, and I'm using this model, okay, our rock and the sun responds with earthquakes. If you look at the sun and anything gets near it, it freaking freaks out and tries to kill it. Yes, it does. Watch the sun. And you get close to the sun, it'll kill. So we're coming into this alignment. So this is only going to increase, guys. This is only going to increase. Okay. Nothing. The moon does not control the tide. That's a bunch of hogwash. We see the day moon out all the time. I have a day moon tattoo. I have more moon tattoos on me than anybody I know. Okay. I know about this moon. Moon is the opposite polarity. Think of moon as the negative side of polarity. The sun is the positive. You'll get that. I know you'll get that now. Think about that. Why do you only see one side of the lunar phase? Because it's the negative end of polarity. The sun is the positive. The day from the night, the dark from the light. Proton, electron, muon, dark light particles. Come on, guys. Some of it's a little basic. I hope you're following here. I'm not trying to over. Oh, that's why we only see one side of the lunar phase. There's no second moon. That's nonsense. You're not going to see it unless you have a telescope. It's just a big... Brothers, sisters, you ain't see nothing until Squatterman lights up in the night sky. And that could happen in this cycle, just so you know. This is the first thing to illuminate. This is one of the first ones. I already told you there would be things that start to illuminate in the night sky. This is the first one. They're giving you a soft exposure. Get ready. This is just going to increase. More of these celestial bodies are going to illuminate. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. We live in an electric, it's no islands in the celestial firmament. Everything is electrically connected. We are electrically connected to the sun. It shoots out electric at us. Plasma. That's how this whole earth was shaped, brothers and sisters. Not by water and erosion, but by electric. Plasma. Eyes to the skies, guys. Definitely look up. Your redemption draweth nigh. This is a beautiful time. That's right. There you go. You got it. It's not you. It's not CO2. It's the sun doing it. But they can blame it on CO2 because people buy the narrative and cows farting and, oh my God, we're all going to die. Let's debunk that. Let's debunk CO2. We'll do it while we're here. We'll get the banner, the flag banner underneath, the stream, and we'll get demonetized. But Jimmy Crack Corn ain't doing it for the money. You guys want to debunk CO2? It's not you. It's not CO2. Let's take a look at all the CO2 in the atmosphere. Out of all the trace gases, I just want to let you know, they could have picked any gas. And they picked 150 years of science recorded. It's called the Michael Mann hockey stick. Yeah, the Michael Mann hockey stick, okay? They took 150 years. No, and everybody is. This is apocalypse. That's what apocalypse means, Summer. Okay? We're in the age of revelation. I am revelation. Whoa. Okay? So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to rip the veil off of CO2, off climate change. Now, look, out of all the trace gases, okay, Out of all the trace gases, well, now listen. This is going to piss you off because this is CO2. This is carbon. This is your carbon tax, CO2. Now watch. Lion's going to get this. I know Lion has an eye to see and an ear to hear. Watch this, Lion. Now watch me debunk with graph and math. CO2 is the smallest trace gas of all. What is the most abundant gas in our what's the most abundant trace gas, guys, in all of our realm, in above, below, everywhere? It don't matter where it's at. What is the most abundant gas element, trace gas in existence? What is the most what is the most? Because I'll give you, we said the least, so I'm going to take you to the most. You know me, I'm going to, yeah, it's just what I do. It's the Father doing it. Don't get mad at me. Okay? Don't shoot the messenger, please. So what is the most abundant trace gas? No, well, oxygen, close. That's too much. You gave me too many. Take the O molecule off and just give me the H molecule, which is what? Yes, hydrogen is the most abundant molecule gas in our atmosphere in known to, the carbon, CO2 is the least. Okay. Okay, thank you for answering that 9X across your head. Wow, is that like a pistola or is that like a boot, or X marks the spot, I guess, huh? All right, up in here, going to knock some sense into you. All right, so careful, 9X coming in with the X factor here. All right, times 9, 3 times 3. Okay, brothers, sisters, this is CO2 is the least trace gas in the atmosphere. And of all the gases, it's 0.4%. Here's the 0.4%. It's a little blurry, but 0.4% of all the gases. Now look, this is CO2. This is a little sliver. It's even hard to see. That little red sliver is CO2. Okay, so that's all. That's all the trace gas. Now we're going to take that. We're going to take this graph here. We're going to put it in this same factor and see who's causing this. Who's causing this tiny trace amount? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you that's producing it? Is it humans? Is it or is it who's producing that tiny amount? So we're going to go over here. Now look at over here, guys. Check this out. Watch. Look over here. Wow, that's the little tiny sliver. That's the tiny sliver. Now of all the little tiny sliver, this is the man-made portion here. Oh, darn it. I thought it was hoping. So that would be, what is that? 0.01 man-made CO2 is 0.012%. We're not even a factor. We're not even a mathematical factor in the equation. We're the little yellow sliver of all that's you leave your cars running, the cows farting industry. I'm not saying we don't do horrible things by polluting the planet, brothers, sisters, but CO2 is not polluting this earth at all. It's plant food and it's good for plants. The more CO2, if they get rid of CO2, they get rid of you. You breathe CO2 to stain. So we're debunking that CO2 and that man-made CO2 is an issue. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not even a factor. It's not. We're not even a factor because ours is 0.01 is the man-made CO2. So never let anybody tell you this nonsense. And this is what Charge 2 will say. No, but I knew you get it, Lion. This whole thing is just windmills, solar. Those are good in a small level, but not sustainable energy. And it's just a bunch of hogwash. It's control. It's taxation. Oh my gosh. And they go for it. They're going to keep pushing this agenda until the whole thing, the wheels are just, there you go. There you go. Thank you. I agree. Lithium's very, there's a lot of issues because of lithium. That's like, these EV cars, they're not EV. Those aren't friendly. Look at all the cobalt and all the, yes, it is, thank you, lithium and all this. Look what they just did. We know that's we know that's what's going on. We know that's what's going on. They're not going to hide this from us this time, guys. If we shut up about it, and we don't keep talking about it, they'll get away with it. But if we keep talking about this and say, hey, we know you wanted in those states, those people were standing up to you saying, hey, we don't want this here. We're concerned about, you coming in and wrecking this place. And then us, even if you do buy us out, you're going to buy us out for under our prices, and you're going to rob us, but that's what we see. They don't care. They got their FEMA agents in there, guys, taking people's donations and giving them to migrants. If that doesn't put some fire under your, not for the migrants. Who cares about the migrants? I don't care about the migrants. They left the country because we extort their countries with our military. Most people who came here aren't trying to do any harm. They're coming here for a better life. This is supposed to be the better life of anywhere in this rock. If you've forgotten you live here, that's what it's supposed to be. So the melting pot, you'll never see your enemy, America. He looks just like you. That's right. Who is it? I don't know. This is the melting pot. But think about that. And now they're going to send more money to Ukraine. We got no more money for hurricane victims. That's what FEMA has said. We have no more money for hurricane season. We have no more money for a hurricane. There we go. Thank you. Prime example of taking a $5 Boulevard cheeseburger, Venezuelan Boulevard, and taking it to 500, and then 7 million of them leave the country. Where do you think they're going to come? Oh, those dirty Mexicans. They're not Mexicans. Stop calling Mexicans dirty. They're the ones in the fields, have been in this country for decades, putting food on your table and do a good job at it. And they're not dirty. Most of them dress much nicer than you scumbag Americans who sit at home all day playing video games. And I'm not into paying taxes, but you don't pay nothing. You're on the card, the stamps, you get the stamps, the food, whatever and you play video games all day and you don't do nothing. These people come in, 10 of you, we'll do the racist thing, whitey American, you live in, they'll apartment will have holes in it. It'd be a wreck. The cops have been called. It'd be a place to be destroyed in 6 months. It'd be just a wreck. They'd have to remodel it. Those Hispanic people, Mexicans, they all dress nice, drive nice cars. Some are a little loud, but you go in that apartment, there's 10 of them in there, and they all figure out how to use the bathroom. None of them are beating the crap out of each other. And they're still sending money to grandma, to Mima, to Papa. Yeah, dirty Americans. You guys suck. Sit there and these people feed you or put the food on your table for the last 30 years. You're going to turn around and blame it as 7 million Venezuelans come across the border. You think they're Mexican. Americans are idiots, brothers, sisters. And how are you going to know? How are you going to know who they are? This is the melting pot. In Russia, they look Russian. In South Africa, they look South African. In Saudi Arabia, they look Arab. How are you going to figure out who's the enemy in America, brothers, sisters? You're not. They look just like you. This is the melting pot. You're screwed. They already rolled the Trojan horse. Well, it looks Hispanic. No, it's called Trans de la Aragua. And there is a certain portion of the Venezuelans that came in here that are not have good intent. There's a certain amount of the Mexicans with the MS-13. There's a lot more dirty Americans that do a lot more dirty things in this country. You'll know them by their fruit. Exactly. Please, brothers, sisters, thank you. 47. Please, brothers, sisters, a lot of Cape people, they don't want nothing to do with you. They don't want to hurt you. They're out here working in these fields out here in this little teeny tiny town. I see them in the farmers, and the farmers just shut up and pay them. And they all dress nice. And I know they're Venezuelan. I know, and I don't, whatever. Oh, they're sleeper cells. Well, you're just going to have to deal with it. You're just going to have to deal with it. These people came across this, these people aren't happy. A lot of people who came here illegally or the ones who even naturalized, because ones who came here legally, they shut up. They did their job. They paid taxes on a cell phone. The day they got here, you didn't pay no taxes. You played Call of Duty all day, World of Warcraft. You're so stoned out of your mind off this. That's not cannabis. I'm a medicinal cannabis grower, and that's something else. Auto flower, all this stuff in these pens and this glycol. The dragon's already got you couch locked to your indica. Oh, you can do this all day. And these people go to work the minute they get here, the day they get here, go straight. I don't want to. There's a much better living here. Why? Just shut up, come over here, make the money, send it back, can make things work with my, people in my own familia, my own culture, and we all sit down. There might be 10 of us in that, but there's 10 of them in that apartment. Did you see? Yeah, but they all dress nice. Look at this. They clean it. It's nice. And they get their cleaning deposit back. And I'm not saying all of them, but most of them is a majority. And look at most average Americans sitting at home, on the stamps or getting some kind of ADHD medicine with the Mexican American with their their Mexican cabinet that they're in there. They do their whatever. Something's wrong with you, man. Oh, really? Oh, well, give me some free Social Security. They're not doing anything. And I'm not for taxes, brothers and sisters, but these people pay taxes the minute they get here. They get there, they buy a car, they rent an apartment, and there's taxes on a lot of these same things. They get a cell phone, they get gas, they get taxed. They're paying way more. This guy's at home. Dirty Mexican, This is right? These people come over here and pick your food and put it on your plate that you're eating too, by the way. Dirty, So many of them have assimilated the last 30 years. 30s just fine, brothers and sisters. They didn't come here and cause no problem. There were bad apples in every bunch, but I'm telling you, that's why people that came here, Ellis Island, got naturalization, got their green card. It take a long time. They're not happy about this. They didn't get nothing free. They came over here and did what they assimilated into society just fine, And so please be careful about casting unrighteous judgment on a man, because you are supposed to judge them righteously. Like 47 said, you'll know them by their fruit. But it's going to be a little hard to pick out who's who and who's not at this point, to be honest with you. So I would just ask myself, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do in this case? How would he treat these people? They are a race, a human race, just like you. We're all human beings, whether we're good or bad. We all got to be here together. You know what I'm saying? So please, brothers and sisters, think wisely about how you tread in your next days on people, because there's a lot of people too who came here now, just like the generation of Americans. But like I said, a lot of them assimilated just fine. They're not happy about these people who are getting paid to be here. Like in Maine, these people are getting $1,800 a month. They're not paying any kind of utilities. They're not paying nothing. You, American, who's not just sitting at home, was actually trying to contribute, doing what you got to have perfect, near perfect credit. You got to have first, last, security deposit. You got any animals, pet rent? You're talking about 10 grand to get into a 1-bedroom apartment in Maine. What was the average home price? There's $480,000 or something. No, I want to see all the, and then was it 10 grand to get into this house as these people walk in without citizenship. Okay. So now we have them taking FEMA, taking our government, taking victims, from this hurricane, supplies, donations, confiscating and giving them to these immigrants. You can't call them immigrants, Tracy, or migrants. You got to call them immigrants. Oh, you can't call them immigrants, Tracy. You got to call them newcomers. So, brothers and sisters, they are creating what is called an entitlement generation. They've done it here in America, but they're doing this with these people. That one day will be a voter class for them, or they'll do what they're told to get the money that they're given. So if they pull their funding, which they already in some places, they're like in New York, they're like, hey, we'll pay you to get out of this building. We're guarding you with the Army and the Marines, but get out of here. We'll give you $4,500 to go somewhere else. So they're paying these people not only to go to stay somewhere, but to leave. Now in Maine, they get that for 2 years. 2 years, they don't pay anything. No utilities, no power bill, no water bill, and it's all taken care of. So, so what really upsets me about this, brothers and sisters, is they don't have money. FEMA's already said they don't have any money for any more of the hurricane season. They're dying Americans in the street, but yet they're still going to send your money to Ukraine. Billions more dollars to Ukraine. Billions of more dollars to Iran and Israel. And Israel. We fund both sides of that, just so you know. Remember Obama with the whole money pallet of cash, during the whole. So we pay both sides, bullets and band-aids. They make money on both sides, brothers and sisters. So anybody who supports this system, you know what I'm saying? And look, watch, they have no National Guard. The state of Tennessee cannot supply National Guard, but they just sent 700 to National Guard to Kuwait to get ready for the war over there in Israel, to support Israel. Listen to me what I just said, brothers and sisters. The state of Tennessee does not have National Guard to send out to the victims, but they just sent 700 National Guardsmen to Kuwait to support Israel. These are historical facts, brothers and sisters. Now, and people are going to step aside and not be a part of this now. I don't think this is the time to stand down, man, and just sit around and watch. This is the time to speak up, use your voice. Do not let them get away. There are people who are pushing through this right now. They're saying, the hell with you, FEMA. We're going to get on donkeys. We're going to fly helicopters. These people are still pushing through these lines. And the silver lining of humanity is showing right now. I told you I stayed in this country. I want to leave, but there are good people who are showing themselves right now in these states, and they don't care what FEMA says, and they don't care what these cops say. They're being threatened with arrest, and they're doing this without confrontation, brothers and sisters. They're just saying, I don't recognize this. They're not recognized. If we all just stop participating in this, and everybody has turned around and said, no more. It's called evolution, brothers and sisters, not revolution. They want you to fight. Red team, blue team, red team, blue team. That's a tactic of war. I'm a veteran. Divide and conquer. Oh, I'm a kid. I feel like a cat now. I want a kitty litter box in the school, in the bathroom now. And I'm an L and I'm a G and I'm an R2, D2, and I'm C3 and I'm 9 and I'm G and I'm B, and it's all divide and conquer. Get you all divided up. No unity amongst each other. I'm special. I'm a snowflake. You got to take care of me. Look at me. I can't lose. Give me a trophy. I get a trophy every time. I never lost in my life. Look at me. This generation, brothers, sisters, it's happening whether you realize it or not. This is all by design. This is not something that it's called divide and conquer, brothers, sisters. Okay. It's a whole lot easier to take care of the population if they're all separated in different classes and then they'll all be united. If we all came together, do you think people care over there when they're in that rescue mode, going around those people, thinking about, hey, is this guy a Democrat or a Republican? When they see that person in the river about to die and they think they can go in there and do something about it, do you think they care that that's a person's a Democrat, that they got more melanin in their skin or not? No, they don't. They just go do what God tells them to do, because God in their head pushes them. It's God that pushes us, brothers and sisters, to be this way: charitable, patient, kind, meek. And you're not going to let anybody tell you what to do. You understand? You're not going to assert their authority is not God's authority is more. If there's people who are suffering, even as a military veteran, you're either going to put that enemy out of its own suffering, out of its mind, or you're going to help it. You don't just sit there and let it suffer, period. Even as a veteran, I'm telling you, we don't do that. Now, I've seen people, that's not how it's done, though. And it is disgusting and filthy as our military is. You don't just let something sit there and suffer. You put it out of its misery, or you take care of it. And I'm a military police, so you take it back to the rear and you make it a prisoner of war. It is what it is. Move out, draw fire, soldier, carry on. Talk about it in the rear. Okay, just brothers, sisters, people are pushing through this. They're showing the godliness of people who don't recognize any authority. That's not going to. They're acting in godly, and they're acting and they don't care. They don't recognize any authority. They don't see any race. They're just pushing through. And I'm blessed to push through this to see that this is happening too. It's always unfortunate. Again, I said earlier in the chat that unfortunately we have to get to where we lose all hope, brothers and sisters, before we will normally respond. And that sucks. And that's why they give you Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. So there's always some hope. See, hope and change. That was Obama. There's always make America. There's always some that there's going to be. It's just enough to keep their two-party system, two wings to the same drag, to keep you hopium. Remember all those people who slammed the hopium and drank the Kool-Aid with all the Kool-Aid with all this underground. I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to put Hillary Clinton in jail. I'm going to audit the Fed. I'm going to never did it. I'm the greatest wall ever. Instead, you got the greatest injection jabadooski ever, didn't you? How many boosters? You know, it's ridiculous, brothers and sisters. This divide and conquer tactic has been used since time immemorial against the people. These people at the top know this. It's a division. You're the enemy. You're the goyim. You're the useless food eater. You're the one who breathes CO2. They get rid of CO2. They get rid of you. You get rid of all the plants you can't eat. They already got seed vaults. They're going on with this agenda, whether you like it or not, too. They're going to push this. The wheels have already come off this thing, and they don't care. They're going to push it. It's already gone off the cliff, and we're sitting there waiting to fall. No, we are already actually starting to fall. Stop looking around saying, oh, no, we're still America. Everything's great. We're going to make it. No, we've done reached that pinnacle point at the cartoon, you know, and we are in fall. And look at it around now. Look at the fall. But in this fall, this allows the cream to rise to the top, brothers, sisters. This is your moment to shine, not rise or shine above others, but to show your fruit of what you're made of. Who cares what they say? Let's stand up and tell them no. Evolution. Nobody has to fight with anybody. Red team, blue team, red team, blue. You ever seen a revolver? You know, like a revolver, like on a pistola, right? The revolver, you put in a 6, right? Pew, pew. You go what? Round and round and round and round. Yeah, they want you to fight with each other. Red team, blue team. No, unite, come together, evolve, go around the system. Enough people say, I'm not doing this anymore. I start growing my own food. I grow they couldn't even offer us this crap that they offer us at the store. You understand? They couldn't even offer our kids. They couldn't compete in the market. If 25% of people like threw tea in the harbor, remember that whole thing? No taxation without representation, the federal government would dry up. There wouldn't be enough money to fund it. Yep, see, there you go. You go around the system. Nobody has to shoot anybody. Nobody has to lob any lead at anybody. It's called evolution. I'm evolutionary, not revolution. I'm not trying to form a revolution. I'm trying to get people to evolve. Go around the system. Not grow a new thumb, or that's not what evolution is. Extinction isn't what people think, and evolution isn't what people think. It's actually the complete opposite. Extinction means species die down, not off completely, while others will evolve or flourish, as we said, somebody said earlier in the chat. That's evolution. So go around the system, create your own, become your own power company. Boom. Become empowered. There you go. Get a wind turbine, get a solar panel. At small, it works. Not at windmills and all this, you know. Yeah, become empowered. Check out of the system. Become your own boss. Become your own power company. Don't have no rolling brownouts at my house. I am the power company. There ain't no blackouts. I turn the lights and switch them off and on here. Nobody's going to tell me I got no power bill. I already paid for it. Now I'm just reaping the benefits of it takes money to make money. So there you go. Reaping the benefits. Cut out my power bill. No taxes on that power bill, huh? Cut that taxation out, didn't I? Any way you can, brothers, sisters, you check out, you grow one tomato plant, you're sticking it to the man. Stick it to the man peacefully, not with violence, by your purchasing power. What you buy and don't buy. Don't you remember the whole Bud Light deal? I was hoping that would catch on. That didn't last. That lasted about as long as, well, that didn't even last as long as the old magnetic, let's hijack the 9/11 magnet, and we'll call it the Cancer Foundation ribbon now. Freaking people. Tired of these people. They just Satan hijacks everything good and makes it bad. So, yeah, you must be as esteemed as the potter's clay. You must turn their works Upside down, brothers, sisters. That's this world we live in. Everything is woe to those who call good evil and evil good. This is it. We're here. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I hope you are seeing where this is headed. This is not something that you're going to get in the way of, you know, and stop. So you can actually do something at a level, ground level. You're not going to stop this train. You can stop at a self level, the people around you, and help, more importantly, yourself first. Kind of like when you're going down and you're crashing. Remember, we're crashing. I told you we're crashing. You put the mask on don't put the mask on, brothers, sisters. This is if you're actually in an airplane, you know, the things you're losing oxygen. Don't put the mask on. Don't be a child. No face diaper, no masquerade, no satanic cult ritual. This is the one that comes down, you know, the captain's putting on the facet. The mask comes down. You put it on yourself before you put it on somebody else, brothers, sisters, so you can help other people. You don't put it on your kids first. You put it on you first. You put it to help other people. Sometimes we got to be a wise virgin and say no, and then take care, be able to help others. You know what I'm saying? You know, your friend, your neighbor, someone you don't know was starving. You'd make them a sandwich time, or would you buy groceries from them for a week? No, I give them a fishing pole is what I do. I feed them the first day, and then I teach them how to fish. Right, lady in red? That's what I do. Teach them how to fish. This is how you do it. Go fight. Hey, let's go catch some nuts there, buddy. Who's nuts here? Teach them how to be agrarian or something, but you can't keep feeding people. You got to take care of yourself. Thank you, lady in red. If you want to help somebody else, you got to have some extra rice and beans yourself. You might want to have some extra rice and beans. I got plenty of rice and beans for other people. I had rice and beans the other day. It was fabulous. So, actually, a couple of times I had rice and beans. I liked it so much I made it a few days in a row because it's been a little while since I had rice and beans. But have some extra stores, brothers, sisters. It just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And then it could all be wiped out in a moment's notice. Was it in vain? Was it in vanity? You had put up some extra stores for a rainy day. Nothing happened. You got some extra food. Oh, well, you can eat it. It's not like groceries are getting cheaper, are they? They're not like food is getting higher quality, is it? You know, so there's lots of ways to evolve and out of this system and check yourself out where the government hates people like that. You think the government likes self-sufficient people? No, they don't. They want you in a city eating the as a farmer here. Yeah, no tithing. No tithing. Exactly. No tithing. No paying it for. No that. And if everybody, there is enough resources on this rock right now that not one child should starve tonight. Doesn't that fry your, you know what? There's enough food on this rock and space and place and time, you know, and even grow zones, even with the rapid changing, that not one child should die tonight of starvation. And yet how many thousands, tens of how many will die tonight? It's not right. It's not right. So there's ways you can get around this system and have abundance. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, you grow one too many tomato plants, you can only can so many tomatoes, make tomato sauce, ketchup, you know, dried tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, and whatever sauce. You still got, honey, there's still green tomatoes on there, honey. What are we going to do? Oh, we'll just have to keep picking them and we'll give them what, you know. You can have abundance, brothers, sisters. You don't have to be lean like these people are taught you. A lot of these supply chain shortages are created, but you're part of that when you participate in that system. Step out of the system, become your own supply chain, become your own central bank. You know, if you have beans and rice and a water filter, something to filter your water, and maybe a few backups, and then you can, you know, way to protect it. Then you can look at maybe some gold and silver, you know, something to retain your wealth so you won't go poor. You know, you might not ever get rich, never saying you would, but you surely won't be poor. You know, gold and silver in the last 7,000 years has never gone to zero. Every paper currency has gone to zero except for the ones that are currently in circulation. So put your money in something that has some value, like a piece of land. How about a wind turbine? Oh my board, a solar panels, a charger controller, things, power inverter. So become your own gardener, become your own supply chain, grow all your own food, grow all your own vegetables, grow chicken. You can have 10, you can grow 3 does and 7 bucks. You can grow as much as a full cow's worth of meat with 10 rabbits in a year's. Now, I recommend supplementing it because rabbit doesn't have enough protein by itself, but there's plenty of ways to supplement. But it's a good lean meat, and it's got lots of protein in it, and it does have lots of nutritional value. And it's just one way you could not get knocked over by a cow and raise rabbits. And generally, they don't stink like cows, and they won't push you over and kill you. Now, I know it's not red meat, and I love my red meat, but you can grow with 10 rabbits, you can grow as much meat as a cow. That's pretty amazing. So there's ways around this. Grow eggs. Store-bought eggs suck. They're not even eggs. Those aren't eggs. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm surprised this didn't ensue some panic buying, because we had that supply chain shortage thing, or the port shutting down, and that started some spinning off of some panic buying. But then then they shut it down. They shut the whole thing down. But I'm surprised this hasn't, because a lot of the times during these hurricanes and stuff, guys, you go to these stores and they're sold out. The only thing that's left there is the Impossible meat. I love that. Oh man, I love that every single time. And it happens often, brothers, sisters. We have these events throughout the country, from time to time. Normally not of this magnitude, if you will, but yep, you go in the store, what's left? The only thing that's left is the Impossible foods, the fake meats, the fake food. We did win on that front, brothers and sisters. They're not pushing those Impossible Whoppers on us. People want that plant-based, so don't worry. You'll eat the bugs. You'll eat the bugs. You will. Tyson's already putting it in food, brothers and sisters. They are. Tyson's already put it in food. Speaking of, I'm going to warm up some meat. I don't know if I'm hoping these people get hold of me earlier in the day. Please don't blow me off. That is what it is. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Oh, it is what it is. I'm eating some more beans. More beans. More beans. More beans. Yeah. I'm going to make me some. I Actually, they're not standing here too much longer because I got to go get that. Those implements out of the back. So I'm hoping this gentleman, they said they get here pretty early to buy this tractor, and they're not here, so I'm hoping they'll still come here. Better not stand here too long. Tostadas and beans. Okay, no. I had to drive a couple hours away to get the money into the town of Bend. I had to go get a battery because the tractor does need a battery. Tostada shells. I really like this tostada shell, so I'm making them into chips and dips. And refried beans with lots of cumin. But they did buy the implements in the back. I put the trailer on. So I should probably get off here and go put those implements. I got two really big implements in the back, a blade, a box blade, and some forks and stuff. And I should probably get those loaded up and brought up to the front of the property because they're back in the back, on the back 20 of the property back there. So I wanted to come on here. I was doing, like I said, I came up front because I thought they were going to hopefully get a hold of me right now. But they haven't. So I'm going to offer, if they do purchase the tractor, to haul it, because they live about 10 miles from where I live, to haul it to their house so they don't have to drive it on the road 10 miles. They can out here. It's placarded. They'd be all right, but let me go load up those implements. They're really heavy. That implement probably weighs, that blade, that box blade probably weighs about 185 pounds. Maybe 215 with the thing that it has on it. So it's a couple 100 pounds. So I'm going to get off here and get myself, go stretch out for a couple minutes before I go try to lift that thing up onto the trailer and put it up on top. I got to lift it, put it up on the trailer. So, and I set of forks, and so some of that stuff's pretty heavy, but I can wait for him to get here, but I'm just like that. I'll probably just get it on, but I don't want to sell this tractor, but I need to get the truck, guys. So hopefully I can get one more thing sold out here. And I'll hopefully can get the funding that I need to get this pickup truck. I'm going to be really happy if that can take place. So hopefully the Father's will for me is to get this done and knocked off my list. Hopefully there's a lot of things here in the next week or two I'll be able to finish and complete and have some kind of closure on and start moving forward. You know, I'm still moving forward, but it's just not in the areas that I'm hoping that the Father again would give me this ability to unchain. So I think if I sell this tractor today, it'll probably be, you know, between $2,000 and $3,000 probably. I don't know. The market's kind of you know, it's dang a little bit. So some of these Toyota pickups have been coming down in price. I'm really buying in a high market, but whatever. You get what you pay for. Toyota's a good truck, so I don't want anything else. I know a Toyota will go where other trucks will not go. Remember, I lived in the woods, you know. I've been in just about every kind of truck you could imagine in the woods, and there's nothing that drives in the woods like a Toyota. So, well, if they'll call me, and I'm just being a little bit of a worrywart, but I asked them, you know, when are you guys going to try to get out here? And they said the first part of the day, because they got to drive it back, put the battery in it. Yeah, we will. Absolutely. I hope we all get to be together on the finish line. We all get that inheritance and we get to be together. Kind of like he is the head of the church and we are the body. We kind of get to live that right now through the internet, so to speak, that we're all one body, and that we'll all be together on the other side of this life and to get to be with our family, our brothers and sisters, and our mother in Christ. And so, yep, that's what it's all about. Thank you. Hallelujah. So, yeah, always is. You guys know that. I'll never say, I hope the Father gives me this. I say, I hope this is the will of the Father for me. I hope this is his will for me. I'm putting in all the effort I can. I don't even see why he's keeping me held back this long, but who am I to question his timing? Everything happens. Like the person, I don't even know why I'm worrying. The person who got the tractor is another veteran. He's really happy. He watched it go up for, you know, the $6,900 or whatever, and watched me drop it to half price. So he was super stoked. He knows he can't get a comparable tractor with the bucket on it, you know. So he's getting the bucket for nothing. So he's really happy. And I threw him in some of the implements with it too. So try to be charitable, you know, pay it forward. I don't have a tractor anymore. Those things fit the fork. The other thing that I could have sold him for, and I could have offered it to him for, you know, another $300 or something like that, but I'm just take it. It goes with the forks. You know, if you're going to buy it, you know, so pay it forward. He gets the implements. He was stoked when I gave him the price on the blade. He's like, "Oh, I'll take that." I'm like, "Well, I said I'm doing everything at half price, so why not?" You know, it's okay with the tractor. I want you to have what goes with the tractor. So I better get off here and try to get it taken care of. It doesn't do me very good, and I don't believe in luck or anything like that, but sometimes when I get pre-staged like this is when it won't happen. But only by God's will. I won't be disappointed, but it'd be a big step for me, brothers and sisters. This pushes me past the halfway mark, about 3/4 of the way there for the funds that are needed to get the pickup truck so I can go on the road and teach the gospel on the road, go out and take the show on the road. So, and have the ability not to fight with anybody. You guys can fight. I don't want to fight with anybody. I'm already a veteran. I'm a prior law enforcement. I've seen my, you know, hand-to-hand combat. I've seen all that. I've done all that. I don't want to do that. I'm getting too old. Whatever. I'll work you under the ground, but I'm getting too old to be fighting. I'm not fighting with anybody anymore. I let God fight all my battles for me. I just deal with all the crap that he puts me through. But hey, don't we all have to go through the pain, you know? But I'll try to come on here before the end of the day. I just want to let you know that you got to prepare, guys. He said he was going to leave this place. Remember, we are the bridegroom. You know what I'm saying? I know I looked today and I'm out. I'm like, man, I'm already, but I've been feeding the dogs kind of wintertime. I feed them a lot, you know, a little bit less, but the summertime they're so active and it's still summertime. So I just dump a bunch because they run around so much in the summer. You know, they'll sit out there and play all day long, hours and hours on end, like they're puppies. And so I can't believe how much dog food I went through already this month, but that's okay. I don't care. I love them. Maybe that's why I love them. I love them more this month, it seems like, than I did last month. I love my puppies. They're all I got, guys. They're all I got. You know, I'm saying in person, so I take good care of them. Remember, my last female partner there said, "You just try too hard, Tracy." So whatever. That's not the worst quality to have, if you ask me. So I try to spoil the people that are around me when I can, you know, in any way I can. Just the way I am. Two kinds of people: service to self and service to other beings. I just can't help the way that God. I didn't become in the military at 17 years old because I didn't want to help other people. There we go. That's exactly, go deeper, and that's exactly what I want to do. Go deeper in the wilderness, and then I get to enjoy God's beauty of the nature, right? I get to enjoy the nature. I get to go fish, trap. I get to be agrarian. I get to go eat things out of the. They never recalled any venison. There we go. And the way I want to do is I want to be mobile. I want to be in one place. The hell with that. I don't want to be, I want to have mobility. I'll have a base camp, but you know what I'm saying? So let's wrap that up, guys. Hopefully you brought some value out of this. Some, you know, understand that you need to take care of yourself right now. This government's not helping anybody. FEMA's not helping anybody. The law enforcement's threatening people with arresting people for going into these areas. So help yourself right now. Help the people in your area. And the media people, inform small communities around you, and start finding alternative sources to supply chains. You know what I'm saying? You bet. You bet. I love charts, and we'll go over the other chart next time, Lion, with the 400 years, and I'll go over the solar minimum and the solar maximum, and I'll show you this rock is a frozen ball. It's a frozen rock most of the time. So the whole global warming is such a scam. 97.8% of the time, this place is a frozen rock. We only have very brief moments of warming periods. Very brief, very brief, very brief. And we're in the longest warming period, not warming, but continual calm period where it hasn't been erratic than we've ever been. It's really a unique time, but we're dipping back into the solar minimum. And we already made it. The last 3 solar cycles of 11 years. Yeah, no, it's already here. We're 6,000 years. The last 3 solar cycles, solar 25, or is in now, 24, 23, and 22, the sun has shot out less energy over the last 3 solar cycles. This one spiked up a little bit, but it's going to drop and fall off, and it's not going to be the one that. It is above what everybody said, even what I thought it would be. But I knew when we came in this alignment, it excites the sun. Anytime something gets close to the sun, it will shoot something at it, a solar flare. So as more things move around the sun, well, as we get closer to the sun, that's going to be more energy. See, more of that effect, more energy. If something gets closer, well, we're closer to the sun, and everything's closer to the sun because it's, irregardless of where the center of the universe or the sun's, it's still the same model. Nothing changes. That, you know, so get ready. It's going to get wild. Weather. I've been telling you not to get ready for zombies. Tracy never said get ready for zombies. Tracy never said get ready and have a revolution and fight with anybody. Tracy never one time ever called for violence. He always said get out of town, get out of the city, come out of her, my people. That guy just kept screaming, get out of the city. Don't fight with nobody. He never said he wanted to fight with anybody. He said, I'll go by myself if I have to, so I don't have to fight with any of you. Okay, so I don't want violence, brothers and sisters. I don't want violence. Use your mouth, use your voice. Your purchasing power is very important, okay? Your purchasing power, what you buy, what you don't buy, what you don't participate in has a lot to do with where you put your treasure up as far as spiritual treasure more than anything. So get your spiritual house in order, tighten up all those loose boards, you know, in the ship, if you will. If I could just get my farmer neighbors together, but I find greedy everywhere in turn, especially the older farmers. They claim to be children of Christ. Makes me sad. No, they're not. No, they're not. I know what you're talking about. I live in a farming community. Gold, I do, and I live. These farmers are the worst. They're so freaking filthy. They're in cahoot with the cops, and they're not. They all go to the church up there. They all act with their big fancy rigs, and they're, yeah. I know. I hear you. I fight them too. I fight the money farmers. So unfortunately, if they were truly if they were farmers and they cared about this community, there are so many hay barns out here. They had like 4 cuttings, and I know some, and I don't even know how they did that this year. I swear some of them got a 5th cutting. That's impossible, but it was that year. It was like just a perfect year. They even put more hay barns out here. So many more hay barns, because obviously if it gets rained on, it changes the value. So brothers and sisters, they're probably 100 hay barns went in this valley. They could have put 1 hay barn in and grown a community garden for these people in this community. The farmers, hey, we care about you, little guy. We'll give you a hay barn. You can enclose it so you can be an enclosed garden. It'll get enough sun, and you guys can do an indoor garden. We'll put some poly on the roof, and you can get some sunlight. You guys can do an indoor garden out here, because we're the farm. That's so much money coming out. The number 1 alfalfa on the planet is grown right here in Crystal Valley, Oregon. It has to do with the high desert, the alkalinity, the soil, the hot days, the 300 days shine, the cool evenings. That it's exactly so. Either way, brothers and sisters, find your community, find where you're supposed to be. If you can't leave the city, make a plan to bug in, so to speak. All these people, I'm going to bug out. Well, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Make a plan to form a community around you. Just find a couple like-minded community. It doesn't have to be a large, okay? And the best thing you can do is, if you can't, do what I said. You know what I'm saying? Get out of these cities. Get out of these cities and get away from these. And I'm going to the woods, like somebody said earlier. I'm going to the woods, man. I'm going to the woods. I'm going to eat chipmunk. And I got food, and I'm bringing food with me. But I ain't fighting anybody for nothing. There's nothing I want. As soon as I get this truck, I'm giving everything I own to the church. Everything I own, all the land. I have 65 acres of land, and I'm selling 45 of it. Yep, see, there we go. That's what I'm saying, Gold. That's what I'm doing. I'm selling everything I own, giving it to the ministry. It's all up for sale right now. See, what do you talk about? Stop mirroring me. Stop trying to be me. No, if you're in the Hados, hallelujah. There's no reason to hold on to anything. You can't. If it's not tied down, sell it. If it's not passing down, sell it. It's probably going to blow away, brothers and sisters. You better find a place somewhere about 6 feet under, and I'm not talking about under a rock. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I said, you know what? I dropped everything to half price, and I'm selling a couple things. So, it's hard where I live. I live out in the middle of nowhere. You got to sell things at a value. People don't drive out here to buy anything $100. It's $40 worth of gas just to get here. So right on. Much love, brothers and sisters. Much agape. Remember, we're all one race. God didn't create 2 races. He created the human race. There were different tribes. We tend to have a tribalism, okay, different cultures, but God didn't put melanin in our skin because of race. He put a melanin in our skin, or shaped our eyes, because how close he put us to the equator or not. Werner, and you're a racist if you think anything else. I rebuke it. God only created one race, man and woman, brothers and sisters. Hallelujah. Well, good and evil, we got to be here together. Figure it out. We all got to be here together, brother. What would Christ do? Ask yourself that. What would Jesus do? He came back to fulfill all flesh, not just 2 houses. This time, the 104,000, all flesh. All flesh. All flesh. Not everybody. Don't get it twisted. No. It used to be just the Jews, which were of the house of Aaron and Levite. There were the rest, everybody else a Gentile. Now it's the Jews and the Gentiles. Now it's the Jews and the Gentiles. The Jews and the Gentiles. Do you understand? Proof that he fulfilled. He didn't say, oh, I'm from the tribe of Judah. I'm the Lion from the house of David who sprang out of Judah. And Jeremiah, we didn't succumb to the Baal and the grove worship. And you northern 10 tribes, you guys gave your power and authority to the beast, so we get 1201. And the tribe of Gad, you only get 11,999. No, he said 144,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, fulfilling all flesh would be saved. Hallelujah. All flesh. One white, one black, one brown, one red, one yellow, meant all flesh. Hallelujah. There's 12 eggs in 1 dozen to the whole, correct? All flesh, all one Jew, one Gentile, one man, one woman. That's how it works, brothers and sisters. So, that's right. That's right. Forget about money. Your value is in your skill set. They can take everything you have from you. What do you have then? Is it written on your heart? Is it written on your heart? Can you talk about this without the book? Can you talk about this book without the book? He wrote it on your heart. He said, seeking you shall find, asking you shall receive. Knock and I will come sup with you to give you the meat. It's written on your heart. Remember that. Stay in the word, brother, sister. Stay in the word. Hallelujah. Okay. Be in this world, but be not of it. I'm trying to tell you, he's telling you cash is king. You better find a place with, something to get away from the weather. And it don't matter because he wants to take you. You can have all the preps. You can be spiritually ready and he'll just wipe you off the map if he chooses. He creates all things. Okay. So hallelujah, guys. Thanks, Gold. Come back and see me again. Let's talk more about going to the woods, keeping each other motivated. I'm getting close, man. If I can get this truck sold, this other truck I got out here, piece of land, something. I've got land for sale, guys. If anybody I'm selling it right on, under market value for especially this part of this town. Every property I have actually touches power. They're not on. I'm off the grid. I've got a 5-acre parcel for 19. It's one of the closest parcels to the school here in this area. So if you know anybody wants to relocate over here, it's 300 days of sunshine. It's high desert, so it's hot and cold. You don't have that dry or that sticky if you're from back east. It does cool off at night. I have put this parcel. I'm going to list it. I haven't yet, but I'm going to list it I'm doing it for under $1,500 an acre. And I think that 29,000 that came up to 15 or 14.50 an acre. So anybody who off of YouTube or my TikTok mentions it, I will do it for 28,000. And I believe that again is under. I think that's like $1,400 an acre. I mean, that's under. You can find a property out here for $1,000 an acre, not one single acre, but like 20 acres. But it's way out in the middle of nowhere. It's a long way from power. All these properties that I have touch power. So if you know anybody's in the market, I'm only trying to do this so that I can buy a truck and then pay off the land that I have and go to the woods. Maybe I'll meet up with Liberty for Gold. I'm not sure where. See what I'm saying? That's not a bad price. The taxes on this parcel, $100 a month. The taxes on the 5-acre parcel are like $50 a year, not a month. $100 a year. $103 for this one. It was $98 for the other one. $100 for taxes for the whole year. Land payment. I have a parcel that I can get you in that I have land, another 20-acre parcel. If you got about $4 or $5 grand, I can get you in another parcel and let you take over a payment on something. If you just want to relocate, you don't have that much cash on you, but you still just want to come out here and you can live on that property with a trailer. You just got to not make a scene and don't let anybody in. There's spots on that trailer where you won't even be with the trailer. You won't even be seen. So anyways, that's where I'm at, guys. If you're interested, get a hold of me at the Predestined4light Gmail channel and we can get it put in your name. I'm taking everything else I own though, and I'm donating it to the ministry because I don't want to own anything anymore. I want to be more like Christ. He didn't own anything. Really, he was a man of very few possessions, and he just wandered around building stuff. He's a wandering Jew, Jewish carpenter. I just want to be a wandering Jew. That's all I want to do. I want to go back to my organic lifestyle because if they take everything, I want to know and have my skills honed up like a mountain man. I want to be just like a mountain man, live just like that, live off the land. That's how I'm going to do it. So Much love and agape. We'll see you guys again. Go take care of yourself today and be a wise virgin so you can help somebody at a later date. Somebody might have their hand out, you know, and you could be the person to lift them up, brothers and sisters. Yes, there might be somebody that needs their hand. Be that person to lift them up, brothers and sisters. Both people win, do they not? It's a win-win situation, is it not? Yes, it is. God loves charity. Absolutely, God loves charity, okay? Don't help people that don't want to help themselves, though, brothers and sisters, okay? I mean, if somebody's in need, definitely help them. But people don't want to help themselves, like we said, you feed them the first day, the next day you give them a fishing pole. Don't be feeding people all week, all month, all year. Not like that. That's not unless they're contributing to the whole. It has to be a part of this, you know, community. Can't make community without you and I. So I'm gonna go be with the chipmunks, guys. If I don't see you again, you'll see me somewhere in the woods. Maybe I'll see you in the woods someday, and if not, I'll see you up in where we meet him to get our inheritance. And that will be right back here, brothers and sisters, not somewhere. When he says in the sky, that's the inheritance. Okay. I love you, brothers. I'd rather die with the chipmunks and the possums than have some idiot that try to kill me. How'd Tracy die? A bear ate him. Oh, well, it's better than getting shot by some idiot trying to take his stuff. He wrestled the grizzly bear and lost. That's a good way to go. Oh, Father, I can't bear. You said you'd only give me. So, yeah, I'm going all over the state of Oregon, all over the state of Oregon. And as soon as I have some logistics coming up, I'll be going all over the U.S. I'll be traveling outside of the country as soon as I can as well. So we'll take this show on the road. It's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be a good time, and it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but nothing in this life I know that I've ever really achieved and did came easy. It was because I either made that opportunity. Yeah, I don't believe in Bigfoot, so I don't believe in Bigfoot. I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in none of that stuff. Nope. Sorry. This is not my cup of tea. But thank you. Supposedly the Sam Squatch is here, you know. So the old Sam Squatch, that's a little some cartoon. So much love, guys. And watch out for Bigfoot. Watch out for aliens. And fallen angels. No, let no man take your crown, brothers and sisters. Very, 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 be wise. Go out there today and use the time that you have wisely, please. And even if you can just make your first preparedness, if you're not prepared at all. Oh, Sam, you're silly goose. But I got to go, guys. I got to get this implement out back up front. And I don't believe in luck, so I'm hoping these people will call me. And I need to get this, like I said, I need to get this pickup truck. I need to get this land sold. So I got to get up and probably go take some more pictures. I looked through and I thought I had some of my Table Rock pictures didn't come out very good. So I had to take a couple more of this Table Rock icon out here. So much love and agape. I'll see you guys again next time. And thank you for all your ties of time. And I'll see you again and hopefully for the end of the day. All right. Always agape. Links are in the description if you want to leave a monetary donation in the chat. It's there if you want to through Cash App or PayPal. But your tithe is your time is what I want. I don't want your money. I want your time, and your time because you can't print more time. So if you have the ability, it's there. If not, it's not. You're not gaining, and nobody gains favor. Hopefully, just possessions will sell, and I'll never have to worry about this ever again. Actually, I'll be bringing so much money into the ministry, brothers, sisters. If I can just donate it to the ministry, I'll make it a near full-time job to go out. You know, if this happens, and I'll spend a lot of time during the month putting time and effort back into this ministry. You know, this will cost me my own time, but I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. I don't need the land to make what happens here happen. And I think God will allow that. So, all right. Always agape. I'll see you on the next live stream. I am Revelation. I am Apocalypse. Whoa.